Yeah, this episode I'm going to talk about some aspects of the finishing details, particularly the bar tack. And the bar tack is a heavy overcast stitch with a blanket stitch on top of it, and its purpose is to reinforce a point. And in this case, it's reinforcing the buttonhole. Because here we have, with my kilts, we have two pieces of canvas. We have one piece of canvas which ends here, and this piece of canvas which ends about here. The buttonhole stitch, the bar tack, is bracing these things and preventing the seam from blowing out. Because I've mentioned elsewhere, people will put the strap through and yank on it. This is a very common repair. This seam will fail. We look at this kilt, which has a bar tack, which I don't consider to be sufficient. It's too small. It's possibly reinforcing the seam, but it's not joining these two halves together. I've seen machine-made bar tacks. I'm not sure how good they are, so I'm going to show you how to do a hand bar tack. Now, admittedly, this is through a single piece of cloth. Now, I'm using white thread just so you can see what's going on. Let's imagine that our seam is there and that our buttonhole is here. So I do a number of passes. Now this, I've never heard any technical term for this, so let's call this the lace, because this is the strength of a bar tack, is this number of stitches which are connecting the two pieces together. Underneath we've got those two pieces of canvas. This provides all of the strength. Now it needs to be secured down, because if it's left like this, things are going to catch on it, as we can see, and as you can see, it's bowing away from the work there. So we do that by a series of half hitches. As you can see, I pass the stitch through, but the stitch passes through the loop like so, like so, like so. Now I'm doing this a little larger. Actually, that's a good thing that I caught that edge, just because it gives us a little more bulk. And I would continue doing this neatly all the way along, as we see here, how neatly this has been done. Now, ideally, I would be doing this in thread that matched the color of the tartan, but that's not always possible. So on the outside, I'm doing that all the way along as neatly and as close together as possible. On the inside, I'm spacing them out a little bit. You can see they're about 1/8 of an inch apart. And the reason for that is this is close enough together that it's holding the stitch in place, but it's far enough apart that when I'm sewing the lining in, I'm able to get the needle through it. Because I found that if this is as heavily done as this side, it's going to be super hard to get the needle through. So there we go. That is the bar tack in a very quick demonstration. Thank you.